Today we're gonna be making some artworks with like dollar paint. We got this from Dollar Tree about a couple years back, and today I felt motivated, so we're gonna make some art and do what we gotta do with what we got. Simple as that. Throughout my life, I've always given it that title, the fear of being perceived. It's self-explanatory, right? However, people that I talk to, they go, oh, isn't that just being shy? Or isn't that just being introverted? No, it's actually quite different. I think that being shy or being introverted are social statuses just as much as outgoing or extroverted. I don't think that is the exact label. Someone could be introverted, but very not shy, like they could just stick to themselves. So it's not that, it's something completely different. To be perceived is to be seen, heard, acknowledged, and I don't like that most of the time. In a supermarket, it makes sense. Like, you're walking past someone in the aisle, naturally they're gonna glance at you, or you're standing in line, so you gotta stare at the person in front of you, the back of their head, but you're not really staring at them. Really, in your head, you're thinking about the latest season that you just watched of Outer Banks and how it sucked. Shy and introverted, those are just labels you give yourself, the same way as outgoing and being extroverted, right? These are just labels you give yourself to explain how you operate in the world. However, I think that the fear of being perceived is simply your reaction to how the world operates, right? But the point is that I'm here. Physically, I'm here. But mentally, what was that season 4 finale? What was that about? When someone perceives you, it's deeper than a quick glance your way. They take your existence into account and decide who you are without your context. That shouldn't be a big deal, right? It feels like only self-absorbed people should be worried about that. Obviously, we aren't all main characters, so most people are going to use what they see, make their own assumptions, and keep it moving. Wanting or even expecting people to take the time to understand you exactly as you are isn't a crazy ask, sure, but it most definitely is an unrealistic one. So, why do we fear being perceived? There are several different reasons that can kind of explain it. I mean, some attribute it to things such as anxiety and masking. Others just group it in with the spotlight effect, which describes how people tend to believe that others are paying more attention to them than they actually are. These both are really great assumptions, but I think I have a different answer. As a Gen Z, most of my life has been the internet. Starting out, it was real fun. Remember when we discovered cool math games in computer lab and would just play that instead of whatever paper or Khan Academy assignment we were supposed to be doing? I don't know how the teachers never caught on. Now, take that at like 12 years, and now we have an unlimited amount of information nonstop, and apps that make a living off of frying our dopamine receptors. Our moms were right. We're on our phones way too much, and it's not really anybody's fault because, as a species, we're still really new to technology. Probably in 10 years, we'll have like scientific studies showing how much we're fucked from the internet. But for right now, we're vibing. I do feel like this will be our lead paint though. Gen Z and the internet is with boomers and lead paint. Like, it's over for us. We're done. But until then, you're stuck with my theory. Every day there is a new video going viral, not because of the creator, but because someone in the background who's not aware they're being filmed does something a little odd or makes a face. You then open the comments to see hundreds of thousands of people tearing them to shreds because they took it personally for some reason. Match that with the need to have a LinkedIn profile if you want to apply for a job, the pressure to stay on top of trends, to relate to your peers, and the fact that social media is slowly replacing third spaces. It's not crazy to feel like the whole world is watching you when you're constantly watching the world. So what now? How do we get over it? So many sites and hotlines or whatever, they suggest to seek therapy, but honestly, cut out the middleman and the $200 bill. Let me start my YouTube channel. Exposure therapy for free, on my dime, on my time. Making your first YouTube video is exactly like starting a sketchbook for the first time, which if you're an artist, you know that sucks. Like at this point, I'm just gonna buy copy paper and a binder and a hole puncher and just start putting pieces in a binder as I go, because starting a new sketchbook is so hard. And for what reason? You know, someone opens that sketchbook and they're going to see that first page drawing and it can't be no half-ass sketched or some unfinished work. Like, that's embarrassing. So altogether, you just skip the first page. Like, what sense does that make? Nothing is better than something? In what lifetime? Never. And that's exactly my point, is that I was stuck. I was stuck in this whirlwind of trying to make nothing be better than something. And that will never be life. That will never, ever, ever be life, right? Because as long as you're trying, you're putting in the work, and you're getting better every fucking day, who matters how you started out? You can't get good before things get bad. You wouldn't know what good was if it wasn't for bad. You wouldn't know what nice was if it wasn't for mean. You know, like, opposites need to exist, and sometimes you need to hit both sides of the spectrum so that you can really understand how to be well-balanced, well-rounded. You take anybody that you're inspired by and you look at them, and they've probably failed more times than you can count, really, but you've only seen their wins, so you think of them as a winner. But to be honest, life is just full of failure, and I think that's what this first video is teaching me, is that I have to be expected to fail, but understand that it's necessary in order for me to grow. I wanted to come on here and present my best self for y'all. Best self, I'm using $1 paint. I'm using $1 paint. I'm using a cheap canvas. It's not necessarily my best work, but it's the best that I could do with what I got now. And the more that I do it, the more that I'll learn how to use $1 paint better. But also, the more that I'll be able to invest in this craft, in this hobby, and turn it into something full-fledged, right? Just like me making this video. It's gonna be a little rough to begin with, and it's going to be hard to really settle down, look at myself, understand myself, and then understand that people are going to see me and not understand what I understand. And that I have to be okay with letting people think what they think of me and my art and my vision. Life will go on, so I might as well post the videos and get better. You know? Everything that I dream of being, that I want to be, that I will be, it will come in time. But I gotta be able to be okay with being where I'm at now. So, yeah. Or maybe it's not that deep.